Having recently seen the release of Sylveon into Pokemon Unite, it is going to be really interesting to see the top-ranking trainers here in the game and one playing Sylveon right here as we spectate, ladies and gentlemen. And so I'm certainly curious. We'll see how this team goes. I mean, we have a lot of attack heavy, some pretty good mobility among all of them. Of course, the Mamoswine being a little bit on the slower end of that mobility, but still, again, very attack heavy. As we, of course, get started, we're going to see a very interesting move. I was going to say we're going to speed things up here at the start, but Eevee actually going into our jungle right now. So our Sylveon player gonna be the jungler, it looks like, for Purple Squad. So I am all here to see how this ends up. I don't really know what those results would be. You know, thinking with this team, you might have your Talonflame go jungle, or even the Lucario, but of course we see a lot of Lucarios, especially nowadays in Masters play, hitting that top lane, and they can often solo it too. And so, like I said, it's just gonna be interesting to see how this all ends up. We're gonna try to keep our eyes on the action. There's kind of a lot of movement, I guess, with my camera here. I know in the beginning stages of basically any match that we spectate where there's a jungler was our focus Pokemon, because we don't need to focus on them, like having the camera be there when they're jungling. We want it to be when they hop into the action, like Izayoi right here has with our Sylveon player. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Izayoi. But ladies and gentlemen, at 8:50 on the clock is when those bees come out of their great farming opportunity for anybody. So of course our Sylveon's in a lane down here with Pikachu and Talonflame on the bottom. Looks like top has scored a little bit. You know, we've whittled down that goal to 54 points out of 80, and Swinub going to be dropping in another 10 right here for the Purple Squad. So going okay up top. On bottom lane, it seems we've been kind of at a stalemate there. Pikachu, and again, this happened actually earlier that we didn't call out, but that Zeraora been in some close calls right now. Zeraora obviously good for escape, just having agility right off the bat, but even in its upgrades, it still can. And so the pressure is on that top lane still too, of course, though, because now we see Orange Crustle obviously dropping in a few small deposits, but it does appear that whatever they've done up until that point that we've missed, of course, has winnowed down that score, of course, on that goal. And so Swinub having a big task right now, trying to take on this Crustle by itself at the moment, and the Crustle obviously going pretty aggressive for the farm. So that's good play, you know, that's pretty decent play that we're seeing right there, because both of them, you know, both the Swinub, well, now we should say Piloswine, and that Crustle were actually, I would say, fighting pretty well. That Mamoswine player actually winning some of those farm fights too, when seemingly at the disadvantage. But now, of course, we can see maybe a little bit early, but still a rotate down for the Dreadnaw, and of course its timer is on the map, so we just have to await that probably about 20 seconds now as we're talking about it. Zeraora, both, of course, the Crustle and Zeraora right now on that top lane, keeping that pressure on, leaving really this Piloswine to be the only major defender against this, because, of course, all the purples had rotated down, as we mentioned, and so there it goes again. Ladies and gentlemen, another double on that small deposits, of course, 9, 4, any of that, and that is effective. You know, it's going to get you that XP, it's going to get you that health we've talked about in other commentaries. Surely many of you guys know that, but this will be our first confirmation for Sylveon to see what some of its upgraded movesets are going to be in this matchup, and that's going to be Mystical Fire, of course, as the Sylveon player on purple has chosen. Looks like Orange Sylveon also we can confirm for the same, so definitely the move I also went with my first matchup playing Sylveon. And I gotta tell you, man, I definitely feel for this Piloswine now, having to fend off the Rotom, having to fend off that Crustle and the Talonflame, which is gonna break it. Luckily, left side team getting a boost that they need from the Dreadnaw right here is gonna help that Piloswine at least a little bit in its job to defend. But again, it's just a lowly Piloswine right now going against the world, we could say. Nice, of course, you saw a pickoff earlier of the Orange Wigglytuff. Purple Squad definitely had the numbers on that. It looks like Piloswine still just kind of playing this defensive game at the moment, and it is the team's resident defender. You know, it's just, wow, it's all by itself going up against some pretty major odds to some degree. But now our Sylveon is actually going to be pursuing this Crustle right here, who is going to get those citrus berries, effectively bringing it up a lot. But here we go, we're going to see the Unite move, that Fairy Frolic right here. Wonderful execution on top of the orange goal, actually, so Crustle having a little bit of advantage there for just having that HP regen, just having that speed boost. That's what that goal is going to give you, but obviously you can see not enough, as Lucario and Sylveon teaming up right here to take down 3 of the orange squad, and that's all she wrote on those, because of course you could see Lucario right there slamming in that 40 just to break that goal. Very nice. If you're a purple squad, you do love to see that, because of course if that goal only has like 7, for example, like that one did, a small amount, if you can break it with a 40 or 50, you're getting essentially something of bonus points almost. But obviously if we look to the middle of the screen, we're going to see that we're just about to hit that 5-minute mark on the matchup. so completely into mid-game, but also the scores kind of favoring orange right now, of course, but we are still pretty close for Pokemon Unite, and we've also seen purple did set up really well with that dreadnaw, and both teams pretty much equal on map control, on goals and things. I don't know what just happened here. Sylveon found itself in the wrong neighborhood, folks, because meeting its demise to several orange players right there on the orange goal, so might have been a little bit overzealous or didn't know what it was walking into. We're gonna have to leave that one in ambiguity, I guess. Wigglytuff choosing to roll out right here, getting a few hits off on the Lucario, who expertly waits for the right moment. Chilling out in that grass, you saw, you might have been wondering, hey, why is it standing so still? But it was actually a wonderful opportunity to maybe just hone in, have eyes for exactly the moment that Wigglytuff gets out of that rollout maneuver, and then 1, 2, 3, it's out of there. So Sylveon appears to be up top for the Rotom here, going up against Crustle. We do have Pikachu and Talonflame for purple, going down there with Lucario on the bottom lane, trying to get that dreadnaw. It looks like orange is going to be the victors for Rotom right now. Sylveon able to get out of the way for that Talonflame ult, and it does appear that this dreadnaw pretty much going to go to the purple squad as long as this Sylveon from orange does not interfere, and it doesn't. Seems to be hanging back, waiting for that purple squad to come over, maybe try to defend, but it is all by its lonesome right now. And look at that, just what a goal is correct, because they're going to break that down. Very little trouble, it seems, and of course Sylveon right here going to get a little bit of farming in, while that top lane really is under assault, and Crustle looking to actually take on some of that farm and steal it. You definitely like to see a match like this, because it is pretty much an even matchup between the two. Both of these squads mostly fighting their hearts out, I would say. Lucario maybe being an ambush predator right here. Look at this. Yeah, waiting out in that grass for that opportunity to either get the jump on Sylveon, but also just to steal the wild Pokemon the farm. And so one thing we're never going to be able to see right now, unless the devs do choose to update this, and my god, I would love this for spectator mode, but to actually see the items, as now purple squad going for an assault on that orange goal at the bottom lane. This is looking pretty good. A few kind of mid-range point deposits, but I was going to say Sylveon essentially being a special attacker, being an attacker class, you might want to rely on some of your items that can just heavily boost the special attack stats. So these are things, where Wise Glasses, Choice Specs might be good. I was considering playing Focus Band. I think it could work out for Sylveon. You really do want to keep your Sylveon in the fight if you can, to just keep on chipping away at the HP. I feel like it's more the Pokemon that's going to deal sustained damage rather than just one major burst of damage. And if you are maybe looking into that survivability, Buddy Barrier, man, I mean, why not, right? I was running Draining Kiss actually as my move. This is Sylveon with Calm Mind, it appears. I haven't seen a Draining Kiss be executed, and I think we did see the aura. We might have to pay attention a little bit closer as the match continues, although we only have about 2 minutes, 20 seconds left approximately. And for that, of course, I'm referring to our purple Sylveon, not the orange. Talonflame on Talonflame, gonna be in orange's favor right there as you see the KO. And we are getting very close to that Zapdos being on the field, and you can see that purple has overtaken orange by a score, just in a small margin. Does seem that orange is trying to burst this Rotom right now, and yep, that's gonna actually confirm that we do have a Calm Mind. Zeraora going for that Unite move, and Sylveon actually kind of expertly, I would say, pulling off the Fairy Frolic, that Unite move at the time where Zeraora's lightning would have struck. That was pro. Complete fire, you guys. So good on you, Izayoi, our Sylveon player here, trying to put a wedge maybe between some of these oranges and the Zapdos, because of course it's on the field, and Crustle able to actually backdoor right now with that 28, gonna be dropping that in. Of course, all point values doubled right now in this late game as purple squad is going for that Zapdos. Can this Zeraora steal? We've seen a lot of steals in this Masters play. The Lucario gonna be taken out now. Crustle's also here. No, that's gonna be purple squad getting that Zapdos, ladies and gentlemen. Left side team, and there's the Calm Mind, so we can actually confirm that right now. Sylveon busting that out. Calm Mind good for this opportunity as Mamoswine goes in to score, but I was gonna say Calm Mind gonna give you that buff, increase your movement speed too, and so very nicely done. Sylveon on purple gets in those scores from the Zapdos and then teleport back immediately, because we can see that orange did actually, wow, okay, I was gonna say, purple way ahead, which they are kind of as it stands, but you saw orange was mounting an offensive, keeping this at least not so bad, but they really need to make something happen. I mean, they have less than a minute. We do see a 50 point value on the map right now. That's Talonflame there on the mini map. I'm gonna try to keep my eyes on all the action, but I have a feeling this might get a little bit intense. We see that, of course, purple Mamoswine is still over there, maybe trying to get some of the wild farm and just drop in those little points. Again, if you get 5, 6, anything like that, your point values being doubled does make a difference, and we've seen that. We actually had a really close matchup in this spectator commentaries, so we're gonna see what happens. Orange is mounting an offense. What an expert use of that Unite move from Talonflame, you guys. I am really not quite sure what to expect at this point. This is looking like all-out war, ladies and gentlemen, but that was just an amazing push by purple squad. No orange. Look at all these points that are getting deposited. Both squads throwing points everywhere, no matter the point value, some high, some low, but they are just dropping all over the place. I think Purple's gonna take it, but I do not know precisely what happened, because in that last 10 seconds, we cannot see the score, even as spectators, where normally we can see the goals, and it looks like Purple is gonna pull out that victory, but that was a very intense, very hard-fought battle. Extremely exciting. Please feel free to click an end screen on screen if you have annotations on and see another one. And as always, thanks for viewing.